Today we're talking about guitar amplifier plugins, and it's been a minute since I've done any videos on guitar amplifier simulation. And with that being said, we are looking at the Waves voltage amplifiers today. So if you want to know what these are all about, what they sound like, and all that good stuff, stick around after this introduction.
Legend softly.
Welcome everybody, I'm Dan Spencer and I am the Audio Sorcerer. So this is the channel where I teach you how to perfect your audio recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So if you are looking to improve upon any of those skills, get the latest product reviews, and even learn about music business, then make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I have new videos coming out. So without further ado, today we are talking about the Waves Voltage Amplifier plugin. So what is this? Well, there is a guitar version and then there's a bass version. So we're strictly going to discuss the guitar version in this video. Now, the guitar version has 5 different amp simulations in it. And then of course it has cabinets to go along with them. Now the cabinets come in pairs and you can blend them together with a few knobs. It's very easy to work with. The guitar amps have your basic parameters in there that you would see on amps. So the idea of these plugins is that you can dial in a tone very quickly and that you get a good starting point for your overall guitar sound. Now, it doesn't have things like distortion pedals, reverb pedals. It doesn't have any pedals in this plugin. It's strictly just the amp and the cabinet, okay? So in this video, what I did was I recorded a guitar picking part, which then transforms into like chords. So you can kind of hear the plucking and then the strumming, all right? So I think it's gonna give you a pretty good idea what these amplifiers sound like. And we're gonna demo it on all 5 of them. And I dialed in each amp to, I think, a good starting point, which I would later on tweak with some EQ and, maybe some other effects. But overall, I think it's a good starting point, okay? But before we get to the listening portion, I do wanna go over the user interface with you so you know how this, plugin works, where to find things, all that good stuff. But before we get to that, I do want to mention if you do end up liking this plugin, I do have a link in the description below where you can purchase it. So with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the user interface of the Waves Voltage Amplifier plugin. All right, so here we are in Pro Tools and I have the Waves Voltage Amps plugin open. So as you can see, the user interface is much more simplistic than a lot of other guitar amplifier plugins out on the market today. And as mentioned, I want to take you through this user interface so you will know your way around it, you know how to use it, and all that good stuff. So starting across the top right here, these are our 5 amplifiers. So starting with Royal X, they don't really tell us which amplifiers these are modeling, but to me this looks like a Vox, and it's said to be good for late 90s to modern day guitar sounds with sparkling tones and punch. Next we have Argo, which is said to have tones of the late 90s to current day. Now this is an aggressive amp for aggressive music. Next we have Blue Flame, which has tones of the 80s to current day, and it can range from pristine clean to mild crunch. Next we have Arena, which looks to maybe be modeling a Marshall JCM 800, and this has tones of the late 70s to current day. It's said to be a hot-rodded British sound. And lastly, we have Silverado, which looks to be modeling a Fender amplifier, and this has tones from the 60s to current day. They're fat, punchy, and clear, and it's said to be a versatile amp that's between mild and aggressive. Alright, so now that you know a little bit about the 5 different guitar amplifier models within this plugin, let's talk about their parameters. So all the amps have a clean, drive, and lead setting on them for tone. They all have a noise gate, which is great for removing that unwanted sound in between your playing. They all have a focus control, which does exactly what it says. It helps focus the guitar tone. So you want to set this first and get it to where you like it and then move on from there. Next, we have our gain, which is typical for a guitar amplifier. Next, we have our EQ section. So we got bass, middle, and treble. Next, we have the overall volume control. And then lastly, in our master section here, we have our depth control, which handles the low end of the guitar tone. And then we have the presence, which handles the high end. These are essentially shelves. Beneath that, we have our cabinet section. And our first control here is your cabinet selection. And the further you go counterclockwise, that's to the left, you're going to get a darker tone. And the further you go to the right, which is clockwise, you're going to get a brighter tone. And then you can also fine tune those with the cabinet tone here with dark and bright. You can also add a little bit of room into the overall sound. Okay, so those are the main controls within this plugin, but I also want to mention that at the top here, where my mouse is at, this will get you access to the different presets that exist in here. So you have a bunch from different artists in here. You also have some factory ones. And then lastly, it's worth mentioning over here on the right, this hamburger icon gives you access to resizing the user interface, and also access to the user manual, which can be your best friend. So with all that out of the way, let's actually get to the listening portion of this video and hear what this thing could do. right, so there you have it. That was my little listening demo for the Waves Voltage Amplifier plugin. So I have to say that really all of the guitar amps had really great tone and they sounded good on this guitar part that I recorded. Now, some did sound better than others. And with that being said, I would love to know which of these guitar amps you think sounded best for the guitar part that I played. And also just let me know in the comments below, what you think of this plugin and if you're gonna add it to your collection, all right? So if you guys end up liking this video and you like this plugin, there is a link in the description below where you can purchase it. And also make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. And if you guys enjoyed this content, definitely check out my review/tutorial on the Waves SSL EV2, one of my favorite SSL channel strips. And with that being said, until the next video, I will see you guys later and peace out.